here am I. It's, I think, the 14th of February. We were in court yesterday, so a little dated. The magistrate gave us an extra day, effectively, because of the weather. She said there's a quiet spot coming in the weather. Well, I've already had one of my trailers this morning. I've discovered that one of the windows has blown off it. This is one of my stock to sell, so the thing's unsaleable now. It's blowing a hoolie at the moment. It was blowing a hoolie last night. We've had a couple of short clear spells, dry spells of half hour in length. It's now Friday and we've got to be elsewhere by 10 o'clock Monday morning, and I haven't managed to sell anything for a couple of months now. I did have a buyer for that trailer that the window blew off, but I had to move while I was negotiating the guy coming around and buying it, and I haven't been able to get online since to give him an update of where we've moved to. And I've got a second trailer that's in production, but I can't do any work in this weather, and then the minute the weather breaks I've got to get on with moving, so I can't do any work on the thing. So basically I'm going to have to get out today in between the rainstorms and finish off this job. So, but then I'll just be towing loads of stock around, which is a complete pain. It means lots of journeys backwards and forwards because they're all individual trailers, they're all separate trailers, so they've all got to be towed. I'm at the end of my tether now. I don't really know what to do about this. We've been moved on weekly. We got lucky and we got 3 weeks in one place. Felt like forever. Back to weekly now. They're serving us that quick as soon as we land, and then in court as soon as is legally decent, which I think is 3 days, and then 24 hours notice for the evictions. In theory they could move us on in 5 days, which is simply not feasible. It's simply not feasible to live like this, and there are no alternatives. There are 0 alternatives, and it's really hard to know what to do. And we were at this point back in the 80s, and I got out, to be honest, because it was becoming too stressful to, and the 80s were pussying about. Now, moving weekly, dear God, who could have imagined that? You can't function like this, moving weekly. And it's spreading, that's the worst problem. It's spreading. More and more councils around the country are taking on the political stance of eliminate unlawful encampments, which sounds reasonable until you realise that there are no lawful encampments, or very few, or not enough lawful encampments. So what are we to do? What are we to do? My problem is, in the winter I make stoves to pay for making films in the summer. As I keep getting moved on like this, I don't have the time or the resources to start making my stoves, so I have nothing to sell, and in the meantime I have the fuel bills of having to move all my vehicles every week, which has all got to come out of nowhere. I've now hit a point where I have no resources left. I have no resources left whatsoever, and I had to beg diesel from the bailiffs from our last eviction so that we could move, simply so that we could move. And this is not sustainable, not in the short term or the long term. And we're just waiting for a change of government. Every time I move on, I miss the letter of referral from my doctor. And every time a referral letter gets lost behind me, I miss the appointments. So I keep missing my appointments. I haven't even been diagnosed yet. Until eventually I get moved right out of the health district. And then I have to find another GP that will take someone with no fixed address and start all over again. We've now had over 2 months of wind, rain, storms, and during this time we've been moved on average every 7 days in worse and worse conditions, and through storms, through high winds, and absolutely no consideration has been taken of how vulnerable we are with these trailers driving around the roads. We've all lost windows, and then the weather comes in, you have to nail something over the hole. It's amazing we haven't had deaths from trailers flipping over, the sort of winds and the sort of places we've been forced to park. Whatever else, I can't just disappear. I exist, I have physical presence. And I can't just disappear.